There is a popular quote that says, "Employees don't quit their jobs, they quit their managers." In a perfect world, leaders or managers are a constant source of inspiration for their employees. We don't live in a perfect world. As a manager, it can be difficult to always say the right things, especially when juggling multiple priorities. Knowing that studies have shown that the success of a company and the commitment of a team are mainly based on the way they are led, it is worth questioning yourself and improving. As a manager, your words, deeds, and gestures are constantly observed by your employees. The way you communicate is arguably the most powerful tool you can use to build your staff skills. Your employees rely on you to know how to orient themselves or improve their work. So your words can be both destructive and constructive. Here are 10 things you should never say, and if you are wrong, which is perfectly human, here's how to get it right.
1. I'm not paying you to do the work for you. Why shouldn't you say that? Dictatorial statements and threats inspire neither loyalty nor good work in your team. What to ask instead? What do you think would be the solution to move forward in this situation? 2. You did a great job today. Why shouldn't you say that? This may seem contradictory because you have just congratulated an employee for their good work. However, imprecise and unspecific statements will make your employee feel that you are not really interested in his work. What to say then? Be more specific and ask them a question related to their goal/task for the day. For example, how did you find the meeting with Ms. X today? Or how was the creation of the sales report with your colleague X? Then after listening to your employee, create the dialogue follow-up on your personal impression of this meeting and give him your congratulations on this objective or task at this time. 3. This client is driving me crazy. Why shouldn't you say that? What you think of your customers and communicate with your team will be the customer service culture you instill in them and indirectly gives them permission to do the same with customers. What to say instead? A client can drive you crazy, it happens, but keep that to yourself. Instead, say, how do you feel about client X being a complex challenge for us? 4. Keep doing what you're doing. Why shouldn't you say that? Most of your employees expect specific and precise feedback from you. This kind of intervention remains far too vague and brings nothing constructive. What to say instead? You are excellent in the work done on specific task/project. Are there things you would like to develop more in? 5. We already tried, forget that idea, I really have other more important things to do. Why shouldn't we say that? This type of response kills innovation in the bud within your team. And the whole team will then hesitate to offer you ideas that are nevertheless relevant. What to say instead? You have certainly already tested, and this is what you would like to answer to your employee. But another way of saying it would be, what other options would you see? Your employee will surely offer you other ideas and a fruitful and constructive dialogue will take place. 6. Why did you do that? And why did you do it this way? Why shouldn't you say that? An employee will become defensive when asked why in an accusatory tone. What to say instead? How could you improve on what you did next time? 7. I don't have time to argue now. Why shouldn't you say that? Taking the time to listen to what an employee wants to tell you is essential. He knows you're busy, and it's already a stress for him to approach you to talk to you about something. Don't dismiss it that way. What to say instead? It's undeniable, you're busy now and you don't always have time for a conversation. But instead replying something like, I would indeed like to discuss this, but I'm really overwhelmed today. Can you book a meeting with me in the following days? And above all, respect the meeting that you have validated. If you postpone it again and again afterwards, the employee will think that his concerns are not a priority for you and that you have little to do with what he wanted to tell you. 8. It's not important. Why shouldn't you say that? An employee who wants to talk to you about anything means that it is important to him, and therefore it is important to the company. What to say instead? Explain to me what concerns you with task/project/other. 9. Failing in project/task will not be an option. Why shouldn't it say that? Because you will kill innovation within your team. Employees will be afraid of making mistakes and will only stick to the instructions you give them. What to say instead? What will be our plan B if we fail in project/task? 10. Leave your personal problems at home. Why shouldn't you say that? Every employee expects his manager to take care of his personal well-being. A well-informed employee is a high-performing employee. What to say instead? What is going on in your private life? I feel you are concerned at the moment. What if you made one of these mistakes? 1. Determine if it is worth talking about again by later observing if they are affected by an answer you have given them. 2. Communicate that you made a mistake and that you acknowledge it. Everyone makes mistakes, but acknowledging it in front of your employee will be very beneficial for everyone. 3. Calmly explain why you made that mistake, what were the reasons for your answer, and move on. In general, try to change your way of proceeding by becoming less ordering, and more by asking questions to your staff. Test in a future meeting, and let the creativity of your team express itself.